With what's happening in the Education Department as we build up to schools reopening for grade 7 and grade 12. The Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga is adamant the schools will open for those grades this coming Monday. The Human Rights Commission is urging her to reconsider that decision, though. This afternoon, the Minister will be meeting with teacher unions to discuss their concerns about the reopening. Let's find out where we are on this. My colleague Education Minister live to us now from our newsroom camera this afternoon. Hello to you again, Education. And so many people are counting down the hours to when grade 7 and grade 12 can go back. I imagine the meeting between the Minister and teacher unions today is going to be paramount, where they're able to voice their concerns.
Absolutely, Gareth. So the Minister is meeting with teacher unions at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. It was meant to be 2 o'clock, but that meeting has since moved. It will be a meeting between the Minister, teacher unions and the MEC. So it will be a joint meeting, as far as we understand and have been told by the Department of Basic Education, that this meeting is expected to go ahead at about 4 p.m. where the unions will then voice their concerns. You would remember that yesterday they sent out a release saying that they would also suggest that that the date of the 1st of June is actually moved to a little later so that all schools are ready to open and that no child is left behind.
The situation we sit in at the moment, though, is that there's already gazetted dates in place. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So we do know, Gareth, that on the 1st of June, which is on Monday, grade 7s and 12s will be getting back to class. They'll be going back into school. And this was announced and it was accepted by the NCCC. And then on the 6th of July, we understand that grades R, 3, 6, 10 and 11 will also be going back to school from the 6th of July. And then also ECD schools, Gareth, will be back at school on the 6th of July. And then on the 3rd of August, we've got grades 4, 5, 8 and 9. This was actually, this came out yesterday from the Department of Basic Education, and we understand that they do realize that there is an omission. If you listen carefully, you'd notice that there is an omission of grades 1 and grade 2, but they currently are working on this and they're expecting to send out a new date, a new gazetted date by the end of next week on Friday.
And just before I say goodbye to you this afternoon, we've heard Angie Motshekga say that no parent will be forced their children to go back to school. However, considering even that, for grade 7 and grade 12, there's still a number of calls for the starting date for schools to be reconsidered. Do we know from who and when are the suggestions for schools to be reopened?
Absolutely. So a lot of parents have actually had their concerns about schools reopening. Of course, teacher unions as well having their concerns. There was a point, however, where teacher unions did stand with Angie Motshekga, suggesting that if all protocols have been followed, and all schools have got all the measures that need to be in place for schools to open, then they would allow the teachers to go back into class. But now we understand that all teacher unions and some SGB associations also saying that they're proposing that schools reopen at a later date. Also, the Human Rights Commission also suggesting that schools open at a later date. You would remember that the Northern Cape already is not going to be opening with the rest of the country on the 1st of June, but they'll be opening their gates on the 8th of June. And this is a proposal that the Human Rights Commission says the Minister should consider, and the department perhaps just moving things about a week or two later so that all schools are prepared to open.
All right, Education Minister, thank you very much indeed.